Matches below.
Hey YouTube, today I'm bringing you guys another desktop video. Last night there was some major news happening involving DC TV. So I just want to jump in and kind of show you guys what happened. This news was actually around multiple different news outlets, but I'm going to show you guys the article that DC Comics posted themselves. But here we go. It's breaking news. The Flash is crossing over with Supergirl. So yeah, we are finally gonna have the Flash and Supergirl crossover, and this is something that's definitely exciting. I've watched both shows; they're both great, and definitely looking forward to this. The news doesn't. I mean, this article doesn't really give us a lot of information other than the supposedly the episode is gonna air on Monday, March 28th. On and we'll come back to that date. But yeah, the rest of the article just kind of talks about how Greg Berlanti and Andrew Kreisberg, how they've wanted to make this crossover, and how the fans have been requesting it since the announcement of Supergirl, and that they're really excited that they're finally going to be able to work to make these both shows work together. It also goes into giving an example of how John Constantine showed up in Arrow. For those of you who don't know, Constantine was a show on NBC, and that show got canceled, and a lot of fans were disappointed in that. But Arrow and his team, they were able to bring that character into their show, making him ultimately into the same universe. And they're kind of comparing Supergirl and Flash to the same scenario as that. So that's definitely great. For those of you who don't know, Supergirl and Flash are from two different networks. The Flash is from the CW, and Supergirl's from CBS. And when you have two shows that are on two separate networks, it is extremely hard for them to cross over. I say the only reason this is working is because the same company that's making the Flash is also making Supergirl. So it seems a little easier for them to kind of make their shows work together. Um, this article doesn't say the title, but Grant Gustin, the actor of the Flash, did show this image on his Instagram, which says Supergirl World's Finest Episode 118. For these shows, the first number is the number of season, and then the second number is the number of episodes. So this is season 1, episode 18, and supposedly the title is World's Finest. For those of you who don't know, World's Finest is an old comic book that showcased Superman and Batman and Robin working together as a team. The main draw was the first time Superman and Batman are working together in a comic book. And I think that's a great title for this because this is the first time we're seeing really two big superheroes working together. I know Green Arrow has crossover with the Flash, but this is different just because it is a different show from a different network. So definitely interesting. Something that's on the air. I mean, that's kind of in the air for us fans is whether or not this takes place in the same universe. If you haven't been watching season 2 of The Flash, in this season they've introduced Earth 2 and they introduced the multiverse. So we don't know if Flash, because he has the ability to travel to other worlds, if this is him traveling to another world where Supergirl exists, or it does take place in the same universe and Flash is just traveling to her city. We do know that this episode is going to be a Supergirl episode, and the Flash is going to, we're going to see the Flash in her episode. But I really do hope that, it's going to be kind of like a backward scenario where after that, we're eventually going to get an episode where Supergirl will cross over to the Flash. I really hope that happens, just because if that does work, hopefully she'll also meet Arrow, Green Arrow. Sorry, she'll also be on the show Arrow, and she'll meet Green Arrow. If you guys never saw the show Justice League Unlimited, Green Arrow was always kind of like a mentor, like an older brother to the Supergirl character, and I really like that dynamic. It was kind of like a weird take on the classic Batman Superman dynamic and how they're best friends. So I would kind of like to see a similar situation like that between CW's Stephen Amell Green Arrow and Melissa Benoist Supergirl. I think that would be very interesting. But yeah, like I said, there's not really a lot of information on as far as we know. What I wanted to go back to was the date, Monday, March 28th. I think that's a great date just because Batman v Superman is gonna kind of sorry, it's gonna premiere in theaters on, I believe, March 25th, and so kind of keeping this crossover really close to kind of like the Batman Superman crossover. It's not really a crossover, but it's the first time we're seeing these two big characters in the same movie together. I think that's really great marketing. They can really, cross promote. Hey, go watch the movie with these two superheroes. Go watch the show with these two superheroes. I think that's really smart of DC Comics. And if it was just a coincidence, man, that's the biggest coincidence. But yeah, something else I'm kind of excited for this is that if they do introduce the Supergirl world into the Flash and Arrow world, um, I hope this means that it kind of confirms we have Superman in this universe, right? A lot of people, they say that this doesn't work because they haven't said anything about Superman or Batman in the Arrow world or the Flash world. But what I want to point out is that Legends of Tomorrow is a show spun off from both of these shows, right? And in the marketing for Legends of Tomorrow, they did name drop Man of Steel and Dark Knight, and so I think that's a little bit of a confirmation that hey, these characters do exist. If you guys haven't been watching Supergirl, in that show, Superman does appear, but they never really show his face. We know he's in this world, but he's not really in National City with Supergirl. And I think the simple fact that you bring the Supergirl show in, that kind of says you guys, they can kind of keep the same thing where hey, Superman does exist in this world, but for whatever reason he's not here. Also, Supergirl, they've introduced the character Martian Manhunter, and I think that's awesome. In the Supergirl world, Martian Manhunter apparently he revealed himself as Martian Manhunter, but then people were afraid of him, and he kind of went into hiding, and he's taken up another secret persona as kind of as a human. I'm not gonna spoil too much because if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. But I really hope that that means that we also get at least the Legend of Tomorrow crew gets to play with the Martian Manhunter character, because I think it will be a really cool episode if they can go back in time to where Martian Manhunter had first showed himself and kind of see how people react to him. But yeah, overall, I'm really excited for this. Like I said, I really hope we'll eventually get a Supergirl going into the Flash show. I just feel the Flash has a better supporting cast. They had, this is already their second year. They have 2 good years of kind of like flexing their muscles and being like, this is the funny guy, this is the smart girl. And I just think he has a better supporting cast. While Supergirl, I think they're kind of still trying to showcase these characters and how they're different from one another. So I would definitely like to see Melissa Benoist's Supergirl interact with Cisco and the rest of the gang. But yeah, that's so far for news. I'm definitely excited for this. I really can't wait. I think this is awesome. I'm super excited that we're kind of getting a really big universe on the TV. I know Gotham's not a part of it, but honestly, I'm not really a fan of Gotham, and it doesn't really work too well because that's like a prequel series. But yeah, this is just exciting news, and I really look forward to this episode and what the future holds for both shows. But yeah, like always, comment down below. Tell me any suggestions on how to improve these episodes. Any type of criticisms you guys have, I would greatly appreciate it. Like the video if you guys like it. Dislike the video you guys didn't. And subscribe and look forward to more videos. So, thanks and goodbye.